What's up, 12s? It's your boy Brandon Michael here, guys. The Hotcast and the Seattle Seahawks have officially clinched a playoff berth in this year's 2020 NFL playoffs after a 20-15 win over the Washington football team. And guys, I want to go ahead and discuss a few things because although we did clinch a playoff spot today, we still are facing a lot of the same issues that we've been seeing throughout the other 14 games throughout the season. I do want to go ahead and discuss that. Number one, I'm very happy. We clinched a playoff spot. Thank you, God. We don't got to worry about, oh, this team's got to win, blah, blah, blah. We don't got to worry about that. We're in the playoffs. That's it. We stamped our ticket. We're going to be playing at least one game in January, and I'm super thankful for that. So before I get started with this video, understand I'm thankful we got a playoff spot, but at the end of the day, we're looking for, we're looking for a little bit more than just a playoff spot. We're looking for a Super Bowl, hopefully. So the Seattle Seahawks have obviously won this game, but this game didn't have a lot of implications towards seeding-wise. I mean, honestly, I was sitting down. I wasn't even nervous during that last drive because this has nothing to do with us winning the division. We could still win the division if we lost this game. This game literally meant nothing. Yeah, if we were still fighting for the first seed, this would mean everything. But literally, we could have lost today and win our next two games, and we would have been the third seed. We would have, at least the third seed. We would, we probably would have been the third seed because I don't think the Saints and the Packers are going to lose enough games in order to us, to bump up, to go up. If we would have been 11-5, if we would have lost today. So honestly, today didn't really mean much. It was just kind of a statement win to see where we're at. Like, are we going to show up against a team like the Washington football team? And I was thinking back, I was literally saying, I was like, who's going to make a play? And during that last drive when Russell Wilson, they scored and they made 20-15, and I was like, okay, Russell, now we're going to have to score to see what we could do. And then what? It went to 3rd and 7, and then Carlos Hyde dropped the ball, and I was like, 3 and out. I was like, okay, so that's what we're going to prove now. All right, let's see. 0 points in the fourth quarter. Cool. Let's see what the defense could do. Defense played a little soft. There was a couple of plays towards that last drive. Alton Robinson with a big strip sack. I was like, 2nd and 21. That's huge. Then we play soft. We give up, 10 yards? And now it's 3rd and 11. And then KJ hits Terry McLaurin, which I literally have no idea what KJ Wright was supposed to be doing on that hit. They throw unnecessary roughness. I'm like, what else is he supposed to do in that situation? Just let him get the first down? Don't ask me. I'm not a referee, but in my opinion, that was a bull call. But so they get that. They go down the field. And then we get into this situation where they're inside the 20 or at the 20 or maybe right outside the 20. I don't remember exactly, but they were in striking range. He misses Logan Thomas. And then he gets sacked. Dwayne Haskins gets sacked once by LJ Collier and then sacked again by Carlos Dunlap. Then that last little scramble, throws it to the end zone, game over, nobody catches it. Shaquille Griffin almost gets the interception. That's kind of how the last part of the game went. I was very impressed by those 2 sacks. Carlos Dunlap destroys my boy Moses and gets right to Dwayne Haskins. I thought it was a big play. And in general, the defense stepped up at the end. I was disappointed on how much we were, a little bit of the play calling and a couple of different things towards the end of the game, defense-wise by Ken Norton. We were playing very soft. And I also, I want to look at the play calling and the coaching a little bit because I was a little mad by Pete Carroll for 2 things. Number one, taking our foot off the gas pedal when we are up, 20-3, very early in the third quarter or halfway through the third quarter. And also throwing the challenge flag. And y'all are probably going to be, disagreeing with me. You could disagree with me. I didn't like how we threw the challenge flag. Like, obviously, it didn't come back to hurt us at the end of the game. But when it was when J.D. McKissick caught it and then he kind of, he fell down and then Bobby touched him. And it was very short, or it was either short or right on the line. It was really hard to tell by the angle. Everyone was saying it was a bad call. I'm like, that was not a bad call. It was super close. Bobby touched him. And then Pete throws a challenge flag. I'm like, why are we throwing the challenge flag there? At the end of the day, what's going to happen? It's going to be 4th and inches. Yeah, Washington doesn't care. They're going to go for it, right? I mean, even though they're on their own side of the field, they don't care. Ron Rivera's going to try to win the game. They have the momentum. What are they going to do? Dwayne Haskins, how big is that man? That man, he's a big boy. When he's going to snap it, QB sneak right up the middle. And we haven't been able to stop that at all for Pete Carroll's whole career. So we already know that's going to happen. It wasn't it's an incomplete pass that could turn it from a 1st down to a 4th and 7 that will force them to punt. It would have been 4th and inches, and Dwayne Haskins would have literally ran it up the middle. And plus, it burns our timeout, which we know how Russell Wilson's been playing lately. We're going to need every timeout we're going to need if there was going to be a game-winning drive. We already know that. So don't even waste it. Just let the defense play. Trust in them. That's what I was thinking. Why are we throwing a challenge flag for a 4th and inches call? That's this close. It's literally like we don't even know if it's going to be overturned. Not a very good coaching decision, in my opinion. Just like I said, we should have kept the timeout. Obviously, it didn't come back to hurt us because the defense showed up and we didn't get another offensive drive at the end of the game. But what if it was one of those things where it's like, okay, they score and there's 40 seconds left, and now we're down 1 timeout, 40 seconds with 2 timeouts. The Washington defense is playing good. That 1 timeout could have really helped. Like I said, I would have been okay with the challenge if it was like 3rd and 7. Haskins throws it. And it's like, it's a close, it could be called incomplete, but they called a first down, and you're like, challenge that. Because, at the end of the day, if you challenge it and you get it right, it's 4th and 7. Right? No. In his situation, you challenge it, you get it right, it's 4th and inches still. I think Washington would have gone for it in that situation. That's just my opinion. I'm not a coach, but that's just what I think I would have done, especially because how Russell was playing today. You're playing super conservative. That's another thing I want to go ahead and address. DK Metcalf didn't get any targets. Not when I'm exaggerating. Obviously, he got targets. He got 5 catches, almost 50 yards. But I'm saying he didn't get enough targets. One of our keys to success is putting the ball in DK Metcalf's hands. He's one of our best players, maybe the second best player on that offense behind Russell Wilson. When we give him the ball, things happen. Another thing I do want to address, and I talked about it earlier, is why do we take our foot off the gas pedal? Literally, we start bringing in Rashad Penny and Carlos. I was like, yo, I understand. Let's mix it in with those guys. But can we still throw the ball? It was literally how we were playing. It seemed like we were up by 40 points with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. 1st down, run the ball. 2nd down, run the ball. 3rd down, screen. What? Stop taking your foot off the gas pedal. Why are we doing that? Literally, we're up by 17 halfway through the 3rd quarter on the road. I don't understand why we took our foot off the gas pedal. And then notice how when they scored the first touchdown and then the second touchdown, we start panicking. We're like, okay, take out Carlos Hyde and Rashad and throw in Chris Carson. But it's too late. As a football team, as a player, once you already in your head take off that aggressive mindset and you try and go back into it, it's hard to start it back up. And we saw it. We went 3 and out. We couldn't get anything going still because our mentality, it wasn't into that scoring mindset. It was like, oh, game's over. Let's just run the clock. I didn't understand it. I was looking at Pete. I was like, Pete, what are you doing, dude? That's one thing I loved about the New York game. That whole game, we were trying to score. And it just sucks, man. Russell Wilson had that interception. It was tipped. I don't know what he was trying to do. Obviously, it was tipped. Throw it away. If you saw the Chris Carson when he was running up the sideline, I didn't see which defender it was for Washington, but they were this close to hitting Chris Carson if he would have caught it. It would have either been incomplete or it could have been an interception. So either way, just throw the ball away there. I don't know what you're trying to do, but instead he hesitates, he runs, and he throws it, it's tipped. I'm like, all right, so that's your 20th interception, it feels like, this year. Seattle's just, we got the win, but there was just some things that I didn't like. Beginning of the game, we played good. Defensively, we were very good. I liked what we were doing. We were stopping them. They were playing very conservative with Dwayne Haskins, so I understand, and that's probably why our defense was playing so well in the beginning. And I was like, already in my head, I was like, dang, man, we could have one of those games again where we only allow 3 points. I spoke too soon. And offensively, I like what we were doing. Chris Carson looked really good, running hard as usual, and we were getting a lot of receivers, mixed in. We had the Freddie Swain touchdown that was called back, but we still, great catch, great throw. And Tyler was getting involved in some plays. Jacob Hollister, obviously, with the great touchdown. Russell Wilson zips it in their fastball. And another thing I do want to address too, sorry guys, I know I'm everywhere, but since we're on the Russell Wilson topic, am I the only one that notices that Russell Wilson is starting to lose some touch on his deep balls, or just his balls in general? He's starting to let it go, and it's barely out of the reach, and it's barely out of the reach. It's oh my gosh, if you're right there, that's a touchdown, or if you're there, it's a touchdown, or if you're there, that's a big yard, big game. I don't know what it is, but Russell Wilson's just barely missing on a lot of these throws, which is, football's a game of inches. You got to be able to, nail those throws. And those throws, he was making those early in the season. And that's why he was having 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. Now you're starting to see he's starting to miss on the small throws. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. That's what we see out of Russell Wilson. So Russell needs to, we got LA next week. We got San Francisco. Probably the biggest game of the year is next week against the LA Rams. And then 2 weeks, playoff time. So we don't have time. Russ, you got to fix those deep balls, dude, because we need you to be on top of your game. That's another big thing, guys. In general, I just think I need Seattle to stop playing to the level of the people, to our opponents. Obviously Seahawks fans know all the time. We need to step up. We need to keep your foot on the gas pedal at all times. Unless you know we're gonna win, we're up by 4 touchdowns halfway through the fourth quarter, then I understand. But if we're literally up by 20-3 halfway through the third quarter, come on, man. Like, why are we taking our foot off the gas pedal? It's literally 1 touchdown and they're back in the game. So that's just my opinion. I do want to hear what your guys' opinion is. Seattle is, we clinched the playoff berth, so I don't want to look at the negatives, but we do have to be critical of this team, especially when it's getting late into the season. I do want to be realistic with you guys because I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, we won. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, that's not all that matters. We got to learn from our wins. We got to learn from our losses. And at the end of the day, that's so hard for me to say for some reason. At the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks got a big matchup against the LA Rams next week. It's going to decide the division, guys. And I'm super excited for this matchup. Super excited. And my streak of 2 or 3 games of being able to sit down and relax and watch Seahawks games is going down the drain slowly, starting off with next week. Because the last 3 weeks, even the Giants game, I was sitting down. I was like, are we really going to choke? All right, we lost it. We choked it. Jets game, sat down, relaxed. I was able to enjoy it. And same with today. I was able to enjoy it. And even at the end, where I stood there and I was like, are we really gonna choke this right now? Because I wasn't too nervous because at the end of the day, I say that a lot, huh? At the end of the day. I need to take that out of my vocabulary list. I'm sorry, guys. You're hearing the same phrases over and over again. I'm trying to think of a different word to use. Even if we would have lost, the reason why I didn't care is even though we would have lost, we still would have been able to win the division. So, starting next week, guys, it's going to have to go back to Brandon standing up and yelling at his TV. So, whoo! Be ready. Be ready, guys. The Seattle Seahawks. LA Rams, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop that like button. It does help me. It makes me smile. Subscribe. Thank you. Drop a comment. Go Hawks. 12s together. I'll see you guys soon. Big win, 20-15. The Seattle Seahawks get the dub. I don't know what to say. See y'all later.